Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about body positivity, the spectrum of health, and the inevitable celebrity weight loss that comes after celebrities are praised and uplifted and valued and ridiculed and shamed for being overweight yet talented individuals. But first, let's get started with day 6 of the 100 ab exercises for 25 days. All right, guys, so for today's 100 abs for 25 days challenge, we are going to start off with some candlesticks. We're going to do 25 candlesticks. So we're going to go ahead and put our hands down by our side, and then remember you're out and then up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, whew. All right, the next thing we're going to do are just 25 standard crunches. Ready? All right, if your abs are burning, so are mine. We're gonna go into 25 toe touches. So you're gonna have your feet up like this, and we're gonna touch 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, oops, 17. 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. All right, last one is our favorite, which is bicycle crunches. Okay, so we're gonna do 25 bicycle crunches, and that's 100 for the day. All right, guys, that's it for our 100 abs for the day challenge. And now let's get into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to focus on 3 celebrities, and they're women, of course, because I am a woman and I can speak to that more freely and more closely as a trainer and a health coach of majority women. So I first want to start with Adele. And I love Adele's music. She's a talented artist. She has a way with words. Her voice is soulful and sultry. And she really came onto the scene as sort of not quite a pop singer, but this R&B soulful woman. And one thing that was really prominent was the fact that she was overweight. And there are countless articles where Adele is, being propped up as this model of body positivity because her weight doesn't hold her back, and her weight hasn't stopped her from being a talented singer, and her weight hasn't stopped her from being a celebrity. And she was seen as this beacon of hope for women who were overweight yet had a lot of talent. And it was in stark opposition to the skinny sort of 1999, 2000s Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera style artist who often took over the pop scene. And Adele, much like Monique and Seth Rogen and Lizzo, came to fame, got their Grammys, got their flowers, so to speak, in their bigger bodies. And then what we seem to see as the inevitable happened: major weight loss. And this came as a surprise because Adele never really mentioned that she was trying to lose weight and that she was trying to get quote unquote healthy. COVID happened and she came out of COVID much significantly more fit and healthy than she was before. And when she was asked about why she got healthy, she credits an addiction to exercise. She is quoted as saying, "It was because of my anxiety. Working out, I would just feel better." And so many of us who are health and fitness professionals, or even just the average everyday healthy person, we know that, oh my gosh, working out does wonders for your mental and emotional health. And for this, I am so happy to hear Adele speak about the mental and emotional effects of exercise, opposed to simply, this is a weight loss tool. It is a byproduct, but it was about her getting healthy. And I think this is going to be a trend that we see as I go through the other two women as well. It's about getting healthy. Now, what Adele isn't saying is that previous to this, she may have been using food as a coping mechanism for her anxiety and not exercise. Which leads me to Monique, but I'll get to her in a second. Adele is also quoted as saying, "It was never about losing weight. It was about becoming strong and giving myself as much time every day without my phone. I got quite addicted to it. People have been talking about my body for years. They used to talk about it before I lost weight, but yeah, whatever, I don't care. You don't need to be overweight to be body positive. You can be any shape or size." About this quote is that Adele did not necessarily lose weight because the media was telling her to, or because she felt pressured to. She was asking herself the $1,000,000 question, which is, am I living my best self every single day? Does being body positive mean that I have to be overweight, which is a challenge for celebrities, right? They have spoken about how when you're overweight, you're expected to stay overweight, even if it means you are still unhealthy. So Adele, in this instance, which I think is amazing, I think this is a fascinating point to which many people come to, Adele realized that, wait a minute, whatever I'm doing right now isn't working, and the manifestation is coming out of my body. And we all know that obesity is a risk factor. You can have healthy biomarkers, you can have good blood work, and still have risk factors. And so, although this was about anxiety, and although this was about her health and not necessarily being skinny, what we see is the byproduct of taking care of yourself physically. And for some, that means, reducing anxiety. So, again, what Adele is not saying, what I wish she would have said, is that she was using food to cope with her anxiety, and now she's not. But that's what Monique is for. So let's talk about Monique. If you spent any time on BET or Black Tyler Perry movies, you know Monique. And Monique is also a talented, wonderful comedian. It's sort of everybody's auntie, right? And Monique was known for being the larger, sort of bountiful, if you will, comedian, and is super talented as well, just like Monique. And she was kind of the body positivity model as well. It was like, well, look at Monique. She can do it. She's, a celebrity. Adele's a celebrity. Lizzo's a celebrity. Weight has nothing to do with it. And I agree. I think talent should be celebrated, not people's weight. However, Monique, just like Adele, found the inevitable. Monique has admitted to trying to lose weight multiple times, but this time was different. And she said this: She couldn't fool around because, quote, at 262 pounds, I could have never done that show because I wouldn't have been able to have the energy. And I, again, love this quote because it's not about her size. It's not about what she looks like and comparing her to other celebrities. At the end of the day, we all know that if you have to carry around an immense amount of weight, you are going to struggle with energy. It's going to be a challenge. And we know that it's going to be easier if you are fit. And I love that Monique was not afraid to tell the truth. She also says, when I look at our kids, it's like, let me go put the work in because I don't want to be a burden for my family for being neglectful, says Monique, who also started to see a therapist as she began to slim down. The sessions helped her uncover the reasons behind the weight gain and help her to really get to know herself. And this is why I love her story, even more so than Adele, because Monique told the truth. The truth is, if I'm eating my feelings, if I'm eating my trauma, I'm going to be bigger and obese, period. And when you go to a therapist and you uncover the trauma and you deal with it, you have a better life. And I love that she wasn't afraid to say that because I think people want to normalize being overweight as if it's not a symptom. And I'm just like, okay, let me just keep it a buck, right, you guys? Like, I'm not talking about people who are like 10, 15 pounds overweight or 20, 30 pounds overweight. I at one point was obese. I was 178 pounds at 5'2". That is considered obese. That is a symptom of a larger issue. And when Monique said the sessions helped her uncover the reason behind the weight gain, she hit the nail on the head. Because at the end of the day, the Grammys, the millions of dollars, the accolades, the praise, even the ridicule from the fans will not show you the truth. It will not, and it doesn't give you enough. It's not enough until you look inside yourself and you go, there's something going on. I got to get real honest. For Adele, it was, I'm using food to cope with my anxiety. For Monique, it was whatever she and her therapist talked about. And that's the inevitable that happens with celebrities because we try so hard as a nation to normalize being overweight, particularly with Black women. And I think sometimes we do more harm than good because we don't address the reality. And before I get to Lizzo, let me say this. I'm really, really thankful that we are in a place in our society where we understand that being quote unquote thin doesn't mean that you're healthy, and that we are opening our eyes to the idea that health is such a spectrum. It's wide. It's wider than we previously held in our minds. And we now know that things like body fat percentage over BMI and, cardiovascular health and, taking a look at all of our blood markers, those things are all encompassing your sleep, your mental and emotional health. And we're tying those all together for health instead of just looking at a body and saying you're unhealthy. Now, with that being said, simultaneously, we can also acknowledge the truth. And the truth is that obesity is a risk factor for other things. And as Monique said, oh, I love when she said this, let me go put in the work because I don't want to be a burden to my family because I neglected my health. I love that because that's the truth. The truth is at some point, if you are too big to be mobile and all of your health conditions that could have been prevented by you just getting healthier, you are now putting that on your family. And that's the inevitable that happens with celebrities. It's not the praise for being like, hey, you're a body positivity role model. It's not even the people that shamed Monique and shamed Adele. How dare they, by the way? How dare they? It's about the inevitable. And the inevitable is when you go to bed at night and you ask yourself, am I the healthiest version of myself? You got to tell the truth. So let's get to Lizzo. And Lizzo is my great conundrum. Lizzo is a super talented lyrical and musical genius. She's an awesome performer. She does some questionable things, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of Lizzo in that sense. I think she does some outrageous things, and I can't condone her behavior, but she is talented. She's a talented singer, she's a talented performer, and she's a talented musician. Have you seen her on the flute? She's very, very good at what she does in her craft. And Lizzo, like Adele and like Monique, has also been hailed as our body positivity queen. She can be found on TikTok exercising. She's recently done a vegan challenge. You can see that she's active. And she was even seen doing a juice challenge where she showed herself off being a little bit slimmer, and she claimed that it was not about losing weight, but it was just trying to get healthy. And she was lambasted, and body positivity adherents were upset and disappointed by Lizzo, and they felt betrayed because she had turned her back on body positivity. And this is why I call Lizzo the conundrum, because Lizzo is facing in real time what Adele and Monique were facing kind of off of social media. It was like, don't you dare lose weight. Don't you dare, because you're one of us. And can I just seep into the psychology of that a little bit? There is a notion that misery loves company. If Lizzo gets healthy, she then tells other people that they have no excuse to. And I think this is a challenge for celebrities because we are always searching for that healthy balance of I love my body, but I also want to be healthy. And sometimes the body positivity crew is only about you being overweight. There's almost this disjointedness in being body positive. And as Adele said, body positivity doesn't connect with the size. It's about being positive about your body wherever you are, and you can both simultaneously be positive about your body and still recognize that being obese is a risk factor. And I think Lizzo is caught in that conundrum of, can I get healthy, and what will that mean for my career? Because she has been the big it girl. Her size has been at the forefront of her success regardless. But here's what I think, and this is why I call it the inevitable. I think Lizzo at some point is going to go home, and she's going to look at her Grammys, and she's going to look at her money, and she's going to look at her big house, and she's going to look at her millions of dollars, and all of that can be taken away. And the question she'll have to ask herself is, do I have my health? And I think this is what happens with celebrities, and this is why it changes them so much, because these people have access to the best trainers. They have access to the best chefs. But weight loss and getting healthy is something that you have to do from the inside out. And whether or not Lizzo is comfortable in her body, we will never know, because, that's silenced too. But here's what I do know. I do know that body positivity doesn't mean you have to be overweight. And I think when people realize that, body positivity actually means that I care about my body, and I want to take care of it, and I want to feed it well and not use it as a trash can. We will see a lot more people who are actually healthy. So the point of this video was really to just take a very shallow look at how the body positivity movement and getting healthy are at odds with one another. And the question is, why does body positivity have to mean that you are overweight? Why can't we simultaneously acknowledge the risk factors of being obese and say, hey, being positive about your body actually means that you will take the steps to take care of it? And Why is it called fat shaming when we tell the truth? That is my question.
All right, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have thoughts, please share them below. If you agree or disagree, I would just love to hear what you think. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!